Al Ferguson with Queer News Tonight, and I'm at the Florida LGBTQ Democratic Caucus here in Orlando. The state convention is going on. I have been to this event all over the state many times, but tonight is an exciting one for us. Guest needs no introduction, Nikki Fried, with former Commissioner of Agriculture and Consumer Affairs, and ran for governor in this recent cycle. Thank you for joining us at Queer News Tonight.
Well, thanks for having me again.
We are very excited. In all of the times that we've talked about, aside from you being governor, I can't possibly imagine, and what you did at Consumer Affairs, of course, but I can't imagine you taking on a role any more important for the LGBTQ community than what we're doing in breaking news right now. You're the new chairman of the Democratic Party of Florida, the Florida Democratic Party.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know, I have sat in a day long of sessions. I have sat for months and months and months of conversation where everybody wrung their hands of what happened in the midterms and what we witnessed. And gosh, there were a lot of fingers that pointed back to the Florida Democratic Party. For our LGBT viewers that might not understand the importance of the Florida Democratic Party for elections in Florida, kind of explain what they do and why they're so important.
You know, the Democratic Party, or really any party, is supposed to be helping to create the boots on the ground. That means that they are supposed to be helping to organize our Democratic clubs and our caucuses, our local DECs is what they're called, executive committees. And it's really, really important that the party is strong because, one, we're recognizing there has been too many decades that we aren't talking to the people, that we've been taking groups for granted, that we just think because we're in a blue county, like just get out the vote and just worry about the Dems. Or if you were in a red area, just do as much as you can. And that has to stop. And we've got to give the people of our state, the Democrats of our state, and those MPAs and those that aren't with us, a reason to get out of bed and vote for us. That means we have to rebrand, we have to get new messaging, and so the party is here, one, to help with voter registration, to help with voter recruitment, help with messaging on the ground, training for all of our leadership, training for our candidates. It's a really important role that when it fails, you see what happened in November.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting to me from my seat outside this fishbowl, but reporting on it extensively. It seems like to do the kinds of things that you talked about, it's like everything in Florida. It requires money.
Yep.
And the Florida Democratic Party was really very instrumental in its need to raise money, support candidates, deepen the bench,
Yep.
find better and better candidates, and then do the kind of training that you just talked about to win the elections. We reported extensively at Queer News Tonight. DeSantis won the first time around by 14,000 votes. He wins the second time around by like 1.8 million. That's an indication that there was some organization on the ground that was not in the same kind of organization on
Yep.
the other side. You're not the solution. I wouldn't put that on your shoulders.
Thank you.
Right, exactly. But you're the quarterback, and it's just hours in our breaking news. It's just hours that you're the new quarterback. You're
Yes.
replacing Tom Brady, and no pressure,
No pressure
no
whatsoever.
pressure at all. But do I get that assessment correct that the Florida Democratic Party, that's the role that they really need, that is bigger than most of the candidates and what's going
Yeah,
on?
I look at the role of chair as kind of a twofold. One, it is that cheerleader. It's going around, it's creating hope, it's creating inspiration, it's creating ideas, but it's the cheerleader of the whole party. But the other thing is, it's also the CEO of a corporation and making sure that everybody who's underneath is doing their jobs, that we have accountability and transparency, and that we're working on all these different aspects. Mm-hmm. And what's happened is, we've had, every 2 years we keep going through these chairs elections, and everybody wants to blame the party. Everybody wants to blame the party. And I'm going to come in and say, look, you can only blame the party if you don't come with me. That this is an opportunity because I see things differently too. I'm a strategist at heart. I'm a policy wonk and strategist. And so coming into this role, I see how we can organize better, how we bring in our clubs and our caucuses, and making sure that we don't have these silos that are happening all over the state. And I've said this to you, especially in 2023. We have so many issues that are boiling up here in our state, whether it's our education and going after, our gay community in schools, and now it's diversity in our schools and higher education, and the permitless carry that's about to, that the legislature and the governor want to pass, which I, as the one who just oversaw the concealed carry program, this is a very dangerous step for our state. To going to changing again how we vote and how we get citizens initiative. It's everything is going after the media. I mean, last week there's actually a new piece of legislation who takes away a lot of your roles coming and holding people like me accountable.
Yeah.
And so there's all these different things, but what I think fundamentally we have to do is come together. Because can you imagine a march down Monroe that it is not just Moms Demand Action, and it's not just our LGBTQ plus community, and it's not just our Everytown, and it's not just our NAACP and our Urban League, but we all march together. Mm-hmm. The imagery of all the colors that you would see and everybody wearing their shirts, and you walk down and you march together for democracy and freedom, that's what I'm bringing to the table.